Hi guys, it's Kimberly with Seattle Lux Homes. I'm super excited today because we are going to make kimchi. And I've got a really special friend and neighbor, my friend Bridget. We moved into the same neighborhood
22 years ago.
22 years ago. Well, we were having coffee the other day and she mentioned how her kimchi recipe was really coming along, and I was so stunned because I'm half Korean, but I feel like my Korean card's gonna be taken away if I don't start making kimchi. So that's what I'm super excited about. So let's get into it. What do we need to get started?
Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is move everything we need for the sauce to the side.
Okay.
And chop up the vegetables. Initially, you're gonna quarter the cabbage. Then you take 1/4 of the cabbage and you basically just slice it. And you can use practically the whole cabbage, put it in a bowl. So our next step is to prep the carrots.
Okay.
You basically want to julienne them.
Okay.
And
you could also shred them, right?
you could shred them, you can do anything you want. I sort of like the final product when I julienne them because I think it looks great in the jar, but yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. Put everything together. You take salt and you liberally sprinkle it all over the vegetables, and then you massage it into the vegetables and it helps it to wilt. Okay, then when you feel that it's thoroughly mixed, we're going to fill it with cold water, cover all of the vegetables, and we're going to put it aside for an hour and a half to soak.
Okay, Bridge, this looks beautiful. It's been soaking for an hour and a half and we drained it and it's ready to go for the sauce. So what does it entail?
First thing we're going to do is put all of these ingredients in the food processor.
Okay.
First ingredient is Korean red pepper. And I want to make a special note about this, that you must buy a Korean red pepper and do not substitute anything else. It's readily available in Asian supermarkets and online.
It's called gochugaru in Korean.
So we're going to add that to the food processor. Next ingredient we're going to add is ginger, and we've pre-chopped it. Next ingredient will be the white parts of 2 bunches of green onions. Then 4 tablespoons of miso, and that is a fermented bean paste, which is the ingredient that helps to ferment the kimchi. The next ingredient will be garlic, anywhere from 15 to 20 cloves, depending on your taste. And the last thing will be fish sauce. So we're gonna put all of those ingredients in the food processor. Okay, now that we've put all the ingredients and put them in the food processor, we are going to need to thin them to the consistency of about pancake batter. The traditional recipe uses Korean pear juice, but if you don't have that on hand, you can substitute apple juice. We're just going to add a little bit at a time so we don't make it too thin.
Okay.
We're going to add our secret sauce to the cabbage mixture. And then, like we did earlier, we're going to now massage the sauce into the vegetables and make sure that everything is covered. And then the next thing we're going to do, Kim, could you add the green onions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these are the ends of the green onions. We put the white portion in the sauce.
Okay.
Okay, and there you have it.
All right, so we start stuffing?
Yes.
Okay.
So you put that on, let's do the big one first.
Okay.
Just hold it down for me. The trick is to really stuff it down extremely well because you want as little air as possible.
I see.
So what you want to do after you think you've filled the jar completely is pack it in as well as you can and get out as many air bubbles as possible.
Okay, because that helps it ferment.
It helps the fermentation process, yes. Okay, so we can wipe off the rim and probably the whole neck of the jar.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna put the lid on top and you're just gonna screw it down enough to hold the lid on, but you're not going to completely close the jar. Our final step is to let it do its magic.
Okay.
So the first thing you want to do is take your filled jars and make sure the lids are loose so that it can ferment. And you want to put them in some sort of container so when they do ferment and the juice starts coming out, you don't come out and it's all over your kitchen counter.
Okay.
And every day, for the next 3 days, you're going to go in, you're going to continue to push.
So open it up, push it down.
Push the ingredients down, and then just wipe the jars and put them back on the counter.
Okay.
After 72 hours, they can go in the fridge, and I'd still leave the lids loose for a couple more days until you're sure it's stopped fermenting.
Okay.
And then you're ready to eat it.
Eat it and enjoy it. Yeah.
And since that's not going to be ready for 3 days, I brought some that I made so that you can try it today.
Fantastic. Friends who share kimchi are friends for life. So delicious. Okay, I need to stop eating it. Bridget, it's so tasty. Thank you so much for encouraging me to not be afraid of this. And I can do it. And my kids are gonna love it. My friends are gonna love it. So it's up on the website, SeattleLuxeHomes.com, for the full recipe. You really should try it because once it's in your fridge, you can have an accompaniment to almost anything. It's so good. Enjoy.